Good evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Grant Olson is anchoring our morning show, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, all this week. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Grant will join us a little bit later on for your weather report, but right now, here's some of the top news stories we are following for you tonight. Friday and Saturday proved hectic days for emergency responders in Orondo, where two different road accidents left motorists with serious injuries. And it's a win for the Wenatchee High School mariachi program, which took a top spot this weekend at a national competition in New Mexico. Another clear and sunny day for the Wenatchee Valley today, but this time without all that heat. But dry conditions and a gusting wind situation mean the fire weather watch remains in effect through tonight. We'll have the complete weather picture for you later on in this broadcast. In our top story tonight, Stamilt Growers has settled a $1 million lawsuit that it filed against a former manager who was accused of defrauding the company and luring migrant workers away from the company in order to work elsewhere. Former Employee Relations Manager Elizabeth Hernandez Asensio and her partners will pay Stamilt $37,500 to settle the civil claims, which date back to the year 2017. That year, Stamilt accused Hernandez of forming her own outside business and using it to double bill Stamilt for her job recruiting H-2A guest workers. Stamilt claimed that the alleged fraud led the company to pay $1.1 million over and above Hernandez's salary as a manager. She was fired when the billing was discovered. On Thursday, Stamilt and Hernandez signed the $37,500 settlement agreement in Chelan County Superior Court. Judge Robert Jordan dismissed the case with prejudice. Rescue teams in Orondo had a busy weekend starting Friday morning with a semi-truck accident on McNeil Canyon Road that left the driver trapped in the vehicle until firefighters could free him. Orondo firefighters responded about 8:20 a.m. to find the delivery truck lying on its top on the canyon slope. Two extrication crews worked for 40 minutes to free the driver, who was pinned by wreckage as well as a guardrail that had pierced the cab of the truck. He was hospitalized Friday in critical condition. On Saturday, a two-vehicle crash just after 5 p.m., 3 miles north of Orondo, left 4 people injured, 2 of them seriously. The Washington State Patrol says 30-year-old Samantha Verrilman of Pateros rear-ended a northbound Ford Mustang that was stopped to make a turn at nearby Fisher Lane. Verrilman, driving a Jeep Renegade, was injured and treated at the scene, while 3 of the 4 occupants of the Mustang suffered injuries, one of them requiring transport by air to Confluence Health Hospital. State troopers say drugs or alcohol appear to have been a factor in the crash. A major Wenatchee apartment complex will no longer have to provide housing that qualifies as affordable under a city tax exemption. The development at 1101 Red Apple Road was approved in 2021 to receive a 12-year property tax exemption as long as its 84 units were affordable to renters who earn 80% or less of the city's median income. On Thursday, the Wenatchee City Council allowed the developers to receive an 8-year property tax exemption instead, with no requirement to provide affordable units. The developers told the council they made a mistake in applying for the tax break, and they have not received any rental applications that would qualify for affordable occupancy.
There's just a little box that you check at the bottom that indicates whether or not any of your units are going to be affordable. And if you list that they are, then you're supposed to list the prices that you're going to be charging for rents on there. And the office person who had filled out the application originally didn't understand that affordable actually meant defined as less than 30% of gross income based on HUD data for your county, based on family size. So they checked that it was going to be affordable, and then they listed the prices that we were going to charge, which are affordable for the average person, but unfortunately they don't fall under the category of affordable for the HUD policy. So there was kind of a snafu where on the one hand the box was checked indicating that they were going to be affordable, but what the person had originally meant was they should be affordable to the average person in the city of Wenatchee, not that they fit under that criteria.
We go back to the income of every single person who applied, and everybody's way over the threshold. The project, because of COVID and holdups and numerous other things, has cost us $20 million to build. And when we started the project, we were looking at 3% financing. Now we're looking at 6% financing. So this went from a profitable project to a project that literally skims by the skin of its teeth.
Well, a fundraiser for canine Kate The Chelan County Regional Justice Center's narcotics detecting dog has raised over $3,000 of an $8,000 goal on GoFundMe. Kate, who's a 7-year-old border collie, has worked at the jail for the past 2 years. She's been put on light duty as she recovers from health issues. She was recently diagnosed with a vitamin deficiency and a fluid buildup in her abdomen. Veterinarians in Wenatchee and Spokane are working to determine the cause of the ailment. Corrections Deputy Jacob Lewis says the jail has exhausted its veterinary budget for the year. Along with a GoFundMe account, there are other ways to donate to help with Kate's expenses, including a t-shirt sale, Venmo, and direct contribution options, all of which you can find in our story on NCWLIFE.com. I'm Jefferson Robbins. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Enjoy the sounds of summer from your very own pool and spa. Blue Lagoon is now scheduling pool installations for this summer. Call today to schedule a free consultation for a custom San Juan fiberglass pool. And let the experts at Blue Lagoon handle the construction, installation, and regular maintenance. Turn your boring backyard into vacation paradise this summer with industry-leading San Juan pool. No need to go off the deep end. Relax knowing you're in great hands with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa.
Hit the open roads this summer with Click It RV Superstore in Moses Lake during the Great American Sales Event. The best brands, Grand Design, Flagstaff, Thor, SMC trailers, and more. Over 1,000 RVs. Payments as low as $240 per month. $240 down. 0 payments until 2024. Up to $4,000 over JD Power for your trade-in. Plus, get a Traeger grill and Yeti cooler with purchase during the Great American Sales Event. Now at the Click It RV Superstore in Moses Lake, off I-90 on North Frontage. Hurry in today.
Wenatchee Valley firefighters kept a trailer fire from spreading too far after it broke out in Malaga this morning. Responders say an illegally parked travel trailer burst into flame about 7:52 a.m., putting out thick black smoke and threatening nearby parked vehicles. The Wenatchee Valley Fire Department managed to keep the fire from damaging 2 other trailers parked nearby and also knocked down a small brush fire that occurred when the blaze spread to nearby grass. Wenatchee High School's Mariachi Wenatchee placed second at a national competition last week. About 18 groups participated in the high school division of the Mariachi Spectacular Conference in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The opportunity allowed for performances in the student showcase and competition, but to also attend instrument-specific workshops and sessions led by musical historians. Mariachi director Eduardo Cortez Solorio, who has been the advisor for the program since 2019, said the students began rehearsing in January and began doubling the rehearsals in April. Cortez Solorio said the group was excited to be there as participants and said he couldn't have been more proud of these students when their name was called. Highway 2 across Moses Coulee in central Douglas County remains closed in the wake of major mudslides and debris falls along the roadway. The washouts occurred 1 week ago amid major rainstorms across the region. About 24 miles of the highway is shut down between milepost 163 and milepost 187. That's the junction of State Route 172 near Farmer to the junction of State Route 17 west of Coulee City. The Washington State Department of Transportation says the closure will remain in place for several weeks. While emergency repairs are made, motorists are asked to use alternate routes around the area. A pilot program to improve monitoring of cyanobacteria, or blue-green algae, is coming to Moses Lake. Blue-green algae blooms in Grant County waters in the summer and fall and can cause serious illness in people, pets, and livestock. The new system will divide Moses Lake into 6 sections for monitoring and sampling purposes. Each section will be consistently monitored by a group of volunteers who will sample potential blooms at various points in each section. The volunteers will record and submit their findings on an app. The information will then be uploaded to a map, and the results will be shared with the public. The Grant County Health District said that a major advantage of the initiative is the ability to issue advisories and warnings for a specific area of the lake as opposed to an advisory for the entire body of water. Well, just ahead, tonight's feature story on a Chelan County mapping project that keeps track of natural disasters in your neighborhood. Plus, Grant Olson makes a brief cameo with the full week's weather forecast. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Hi everybody, Dan Coos alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. My heat pump there's like steam coming out of it. It's making weird noises. Is this something I need to be concerned about?
No, Dan, that's normal operation. Refrigeration technology steals heat from the outside, transfers it to the inside, and it creates frost on your heat pump. The defrost cycle melts that off, which creates steam and a little bit of noise.
That makes sense. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Brian Campbell, and I'd appreciate your vote for Mayor of Wenatchee. Born and raised in Wenatchee, I've experienced a lot of change over the years. Businesses have been devastated by the pandemic. People are concerned for their family's safety. Parents are concerned about their children's education and parents' rights, and people are struggling to make ends meet and find affordable housing. With my past service on our city council and 12 years of meeting attendance, over 100 years of combined community service, and over 40 years in the financial services and real estate industries, I'm uniquely qualified to provide common sense solutions to these challenges.
Paid for by Brian Campbell for mayor.
Way swung on a fly ball. Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is back on the NCWLIFE channel. Join us Monday, July 17th as the Apple Sox host the Bend Elks. Coverage is brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Confluence Health, JDSA Law, Mary Maids, Mini Blinds and more, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Walkabout Grill. Your television home for Apple Sox baseball is the NCWLIFE channel.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Chelan County has made it easier to get visual information when there's an emergency near your neighborhood. The county's emergency incident map lets users know when their property falls within an evacuation area in cases of wildfire or other natural disaster. The online tool was created by County Public Works GIS analyst Lori Beidler. She spoke about the project on the latest Chelan County Connection podcast.
I noticed during the Red Apple Fire, I believe it was, that there was all kinds of different information being spread about the community that had different variations of, road names and such. It's kind of like the old telephone game where the message starts at one point, and by the time it gets to the other end, it's completely different. And so I thought, this would be so much easier if people had a visual and consistent information. So I created this app and tried to help with getting that information out there more accurately. Public Works, of course, is the road department, and we want to report road closures and things that pertains to. But emergency management is in charge of when those roads are closed and what areas are whatever level of evacuation. And we've had to set up some sort of a communication thread from emergency management to our Chelan County PIO, Jill Fitzsimmons, to me for doing the map edits, and then for that information getting to Rivercom to be able to help answer call takers. The one piece that I added to this was the ability to do a structure count automatically based on whatever is drawn for the evacuation boundary. And that is something that the incident command uses for getting resources. I was recently told that Grays Harbor County has basically snatched it and are using it for their uses. I have met with Douglas County because they were also interested in using it as well. I'm not sure that they've deployed anything yet.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great weekend. Boy, it was a hot one. 97 degrees on Saturday, 97 again yesterday. Today, a lot cooler, but I'll tell you what, we had a lot of wind out there too. You can tell by our Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi camera, it's shaking around out there this afternoon, and that was pretty much our scenario all around North Central Washington. We all had some of that wind, and with that, low relative humidities, temperatures still warm enough, about 80 degrees. Red flag warning still in place for us here in North Central Washington. That will be in effect until 11 p.m. tonight. We're seeing those gusty winds, and we know it is dry out there. We're almost 1.3 inches below where we should be for moisture. So the potential is there for any fires to spread rapidly. Be very, very careful out there. And I'll tell you what, enjoy today. I hope you enjoyed today and enjoy tomorrow too. We're going to see temperatures about normal tomorrow. And then as we get into Wednesday, right through the first part of the weekend, we will probably see temperatures on Thursday and Friday even hotter than we had last weekend on Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, it's going to get hot as we get into the end of the week. 82, our unofficial high temperature today, and that is actually 7 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. I haven't talked about that in a while. 105, our record high, that was set back in 1960. 68, our morning low this morning. So not much relief from that heat yesterday, but it did feel better today. 63 is our normal low, and 47, that was our record low, yeah, in the year 79-86. Boy, it was a cold one. I'll tell you what, sunrise this morning, 5:21, and the sun sets at 8:52. Let's take a look now at what we can expect as we get you into your Tuesday temperatures. I mentioned that we're going to slowly warm up as we get into Wednesday and then really jump up. We're getting into the upper 80s for the Columbia Basin tomorrow, Moses Lake over into Ephrata and also Quincy. 88s for Wenatchee, Chelan, Omak, the warm spot tomorrow at 89. High temperature for our friends in Kashmir, 87 tomorrow. So about normal as far as high temperatures tomorrow. The good news, much less wind too. Here's our anchoring high pressure still off the coast of California, bringing all of that warm Pacific air into the Pacific Northwest. Tonight, less wind. It will die down a little bit later on tonight. Going to be cool too, mid-50s for overnight lows. And then for Tuesday, sunshine and warmer. As we mentioned, high temperatures for most of us into those upper 80s. Maybe Moses Lake, Ephrata, Omak, 90 degrees for Tuesday. And then as we get into Wednesday, here we go, sunny and downright hot. Actually, this area of low pressure is dragging some very warm air up at us too. High temperatures Wednesday jumping up into the mid-90s, and we are going to continue to move up from there. Thursday, sunny and hot. High temperatures around 100. Spokane at 97, and look at that, no change at all as we get into Friday. We're going to see sunshine and just unseasonably hot temperatures. Highs again around 100. Wouldn't be surprised if we even go a little bit above that on Friday. For Saturday, not quite as hot. Still lots of sunshine. Maybe some breezy conditions on Saturday. High temperatures still up there, though, in those mid-90s. And then as we get into the end of your forecast on Sunday, not a whole lot of change. Sunny skies, still hot out there with high temperatures at the end of our forecast in the low to mid-90s. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast. 57 overnight tonight. Open those windows up overnight. 88 tomorrow. And then here we go. 95 and sunshine on Wednesday. Yeah, Thursday and Friday, as I mentioned, wouldn't be surprised at all if we go over 100 degrees for many of our locations on Thursday and Friday. Saturday, sunny and 95. And by Sunday, we will see more sunshine with a high then of 93. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why we need you. We need people to run cameras so I can get back down on the broadcast and talk about what's going on. We pay $75 per event. If it's sports, if it's a parade, if it's Apple Blossom, if it's a Super Oval, $75. If that sounds like some extra good money for you, we'd love you to be part of our team. All you have to do is email me, sports@ncwlife.com. sports@ncwlife.com. In the meantime, I got to go figure out this camera.
Baseball, the Symphony, Super Oval, and graduations are all community events we're proud to bring you on the NCWLIFE channel. Coverage is made possible by Apple Valley Honda, Bob's Apple Barrel Bark, Castle Rock International Real Estate, Confluence Health, JDSA Law, Mary Maids, Mini Blinds, and more. Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista. Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Walkabout Grill. A reflection of and spotlight on the communities we call home. The NCWLIFE channel.
I'm Jenny Rojanov-Satian, host of Network TV, and I'm looking for you, our next guest, to come on air live at the NCWLIFE studios. We would love to feature your business, organization, or nonprofit and share about the work or innovation happening inside of your organization. It's super easy to come on air. You just need to send us an email. info@ncwtech.org. That's info@ncwtech.org.
The Mariners salvaged the final game of a 3-game series with Detroit on Sunday, winning 2-0. Seattle managed to scratch out 2 runs on 6 hits to back up the pitching performance of Bryce Miller. The rookie right-hander threw 5 scoreless frames before turning it over to the bullpen for the final 12 outs.
Olsen coming around to cover the bag. Kelnick sends this deep the opposite way, off the top of the wall. Jared Kelnick, an RBI wall ball double. Just a couple of feet, if even that, from getting out of here. The Mariners strike first. Cowles gets to it, throws a dart down to second. Tag in time by Crawford. Riley Green cut down at second base. Really difficult. Cal Raleigh blasts this out to right field and gone. Home run, Cal Raleigh. He got all of that one. Well, 108 off the bat, 432 feet to right field. And Cal really got into that. We saw him make a really nice defensive play earlier in the ball game. Ball game over. Sewald closes the door in the ninth, and the Mariners win. They blanked the Tigers, 2-0 winners today.
Manager Scott Service was happy to see that Miller was able to rebound after missing a start due to a blister on one of the fingers on his throwing hand.
Great pitching performance today. Obviously, anytime you shut out a club in the big leagues, it's a great job by our entire crew. And you know, Bryce Miller, we knew going into the game it was going to be a shorter outing for him, and he did great. You know, he threw strikes, he had a pretty good fastball. I thought the breaking pitch was very effective early. I thought his kind of stuff started to dip a little bit as we got into the 5th inning, and then certainly our bullpen was rested. For the most part, those guys hadn't pitched here since they come out of the break, and they were very sharp.
Seattle welcomes the Twins into town tonight, 6:40 game time. The game will be broadcast on Root Sports Northwest and FS1. Well, while the Mariners were dropping 2-3 to Detroit, Texas was sweeping Cleveland. The Rangers rallied for 4 runs in the 8th inning to come back and beat the Guardians Sunday 6-5. Twins come to Seattle after sweeping Oakland Sunday. Alex Kirilloff's 3-run double in the top of the 7th was enough as Minnesota beat the A's 5-4. Houston took 2 of 3 from the Angels, including a 9-8 win on Sunday. Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker hit back-to-back home runs in the top of the 9th to give the Astros the victory. Now the Rangers lead Houston by 3 games in the American League West. Seattle remains 3rd, 8 games back. LA is 4th, 9 games out of 1st place. Victoria completed a 3-game sweep of Wenatchee Sunday with a 6-1 victory. It's the first time this season that the Apple Sox have been swept in a series as the Harbor Cats won Friday 8-4 and Saturday 4-3. On Sunday, Victoria jumped out to a 3-0 lead early off Wenatchee starter Quincy Vassar.
Clark hit a 3-run home run that made it a 5-4 ball game in the first game of this series, and he swings on the first pitch, puts it out to center field. Moving over, will he get there? Indeed he will. Josh Williams, the runner's tag, a run will come home. It's 1-0 on the sacrifice fly from Trip Clark. Here's the 0-2. Hit right to the third baseman. He goes to second for one, trying to get back for the double play. And Johnson's safe. He legs it out on the fielder's choice, and a run comes home. It's 2-0 Harbor Cats. And he puts the ball in the air down left field line. It stays fair. A run's coming home, and Shoup has a double, and the ball gets away again. Coming home, the runner, the play at the plate is in time. they call him out. That'll end the inning, but a run still comes home for the Cats as Macias caught at the plate. Lynn Ridley back on the mound for his third inning of work. He's got the 8-9 one-hitters here, starting with Austin Oland, and Oland puts the ball in the air deep left field. That is not going to stay in the park. It's a lead-off solo home run for Austin Oland, and the Apple Sox have a run on the board. .355 feet on the blast from Austin Oland. Davis, though, will put it up the gap into left field. In the wave coming through, hustling into the plate and crossing it. It's a double for Tyler Davis that makes it a 4-1 ball game. Jack Johnson on third, Michael Crosland on second, and the ball's put in the air at the right field. It's a base hit, and it gets by the right fielder. Crosland's coming home as well. Pirruccello will chug his way to third. A triple for Marco Pirruccello drives home a pair. It's 6-1 Harbor Cats. At finding out number 3. That one put in the air. It's popped up. Moving over. Dallas Macias makes the catch. The game is over. For the first time this season, the Wenatchee Apple Sox have been swept. And they've been done it by the Victoria Harbor Cats, who keep winning at home. Just a single home loss this season for the Harbor Cats.
Vassar took the loss to fall to 2-2 on the season. Wenatchee returns home tonight to host Bend in the first of a 3-game set. We'll have tonight's game live here on the NCWLIFE channel. Tune in at 6:30 for the pregame with yours truly and Brandon Schmitten on the call as Wenatchee looks to bounce back from a weekend sweep. In other West Coast League play on Sunday, Aaron Marsh was 3 for 5 with a home run to lead Nanaimo over Bellingham 7-2. The Bells won 2 of 3 in that weekend series. Cohen Vant Klooster struck out 11 and was hitless over 5 innings of relief for Kelowna as the Falcons completed a 3-game sweep of Edmonton, winning it 2-1. Bend comes to Wenatchee after sweeping Port Angeles over the weekend, concluding the feat with a 13-2 win on Sunday. The Elks scored 6 runs on bases-loaded walks in an 8-run 5th inning. Jake Sukata's 2-run double helped Ridgefield beat Yakima Valley 3-1. Tate Shimeo scored on a wild pitch in the bottom of the 10th to give Corvallis a 6-5 walk-off win over Portland. Walla Walla completed a 3-game sweep of Springfield Sunday, scoring 4 runs in the 7th inning to come from behind for a 6-5 victory. Now, Victoria's sweep of Wenatchee puts the Harbor Cats in first place in the West Coast League's North Division second-half standings. Kelowna is in second, followed by Wenatchee and 2.5 games back. Nanaimo sits in 4th place, 3.5 games out. Well, a hot night at the track did not result in record times, but it did prove to be an open-wheel racing at its best at WVSO Saturday. Meridian, Idaho's Colton Nelson had the fastest sprint car of the weekend and drove it to first place in the sprint car shootout. Cody Ridge of Snohomish was second, followed by Boise's Rob Grice third. Nick Evans grabbed the checkered flag in the Northwest Focus Midgets main event. The Granite Falls driver was able to clear Bo's Shane Smith and Fife's Randy Schaff for the win. Quincy's Glenn Knutson celebrated his birthday last week and then turned around and celebrated a first-place finish in the Rockstar B-Mod Energy main event Saturday. East Wenatchee's Shane Mitchell was second, followed by Wenatchee's Chad Holiday. Now, the Super Oval's off until August 5th when it returns for the Les Schwab Tire Christmas in August event. Featured racing will include the Rockstar Energy B-Mods, Plum Perfect Roadrunners, Zero Handicap Youth Roadrunners, and the visiting Pro-Am Drifting Showdown. You can go to WVSO.com for information and your tickets. That's a look at sports news. Have a happy Monday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or on our website, NCWLIFE.com. And remember, if you see news happening we would like to hear from you, you can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call, 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL. I'm Jefferson Robbins. I'll be back with you tomorrow evening. Thanks. Have a good night.